We are learning Mishnah's Nedarim, Perek Gimel, Chapter 3, Mishnah Yiraf, Mishnah 11, and today's learning should be a schus merit for Refuah Shalema, a complete recovery for Gavriel ben Etel Gita. Okay. Kainam sheninane livnei noyach. A person says the following, that konam, a carbon that I will not have benefit from bnei noyach, from the sons of Noach. Meaning he says that all the descendants of Noach are like a carbon to me, which means I can't have benefit from them. So whoever is going to fall into this description of Bnei Noach, the sons of Noach, are going to become forbidden to this person. So who's included and who's not included? And the answer Mishnah says is, Mutter b'Yisrael. He is permitted to have benefit from Jews, v'aser b'umas ha'olam, but he is forbidden to have benefit from any of the nations of the world. Now, Bnei Noach, sons of Noach, seemingly we're all sons of Noach, right? We all couldn't be here if not for Noach. So we're all descendants of Noach. Nonetheless, Jewish people are not called descendants of Noach, Bnei Noach. Jewish people are called by Avraham Avinu. They're not called Bnei Noach. They're not referred to in that way, and therefore they will not be included in this description of Bnei Noach. They'll not be included in this neder. Who will be included in this neder are descendants of Abraham, descendants of Yishmael, descendants of Esav. They fall under Bnei Noach, as will soon be explained, and therefore they would be included in this neder the person is making. Now, next example. His neder is Sheininene Lezera Avraham. I will not have benefit from the seed of Avraham, from the descendants of Avraham. That means he says kainam, that all the descendants of Avraham should be like a kainam, like a carbon to me, which means I can't have any kind of benefit from them. Then we say Asr b'Yisrael. He is forbidden to have benefit from Jews. Umutar b'umas ha'olam, and he is permitted to have benefit from the nations of the world, because Jews are considered Zera Avraham, while the nations of the world are not. Now, there's 2 points here that have to be made. Number one, how about converts? Where do they fall under? The answer is that Hashem told Avraham that I have made you Av Hamayin Goyim Nesaticha. I have made you a father of a multitude of nations, which therefore tells us that Gerim are considered Zera Avraham, the seed of Avraham. They converted to become part of the Jewish people. They are considered descendants of Avraham. Okay, so therefore, when a person says Zera Avraham, which the Mishnah says forbids them on all Jews, that includes converts. It excludes nations of the world, including the actual biological descendants of Avraham. They are Bnei Yishmael, the descendants of Yishmael, and Bnei Esav, the descendants of Esav. And that's because the Torah said that Hashem told Avraham, Ki beYitzchak yikare lechazara. In Yitzchak will be called in you descendants. The descendants, Avraham, the line of Avraham only goes through Yitzchak. So that includes Yishmael. And it says, Ki beYitzchak, in Yitzchak, not, and which implies not all of Yitzchak. And therefore it says only Yitzchak, only through Yaakov are considered the descendants of Avraham and not Esav. And therefore, when this person makes a konam regarding Zera Avraham, that's going to forbid him on all Jews, including converts, but it shall make him mutter in all nations of the world, including the descendants of Yishmael and Esav. Okay, that's the first part of the Mishnah. Now we get into a new case. She'eni nena Yisrael. A person makes an eder, I will not have benefit from Jews. Right? Good guy. He's not having any benefit from Jews, but he wants to do business with them. He forbade himself having benefit from Jews, but he wants to do some kind of business. He wants to buy, he wants to sell. Is a way of doing this. Says the Mishnah, if he made a neder that he's not benefiting from Jews, and he does business with them, that he's got to buy for more and sell for less. That means he has to basically take a loss. It has to be, if it comes out that his, if you're talking about something, he buys it or he sells it for the regular price. That's business, right? He's benefiting then, right? He's benefiting. But what we're saying here, we're saying that you got to do it in a way where if you're the buyer who made this neder, you have to buy it for more than the going price. That'll make it that you're not benefiting. And if you are the seller, you got to sell it for less than the going price, so then it's considered a benefit. Because if you're going to be going with the regular price, then at least if things are at an average cost, and you're going to be going with the regular price, then either as the buyer or the seller, you're going to be benefiting, and you made a vow not to benefit from Jews. So therefore, if you're going to buy or sell from them, you're going to have to be doing that at either selling for more than buying for more than the regular price and selling for less than the regular price. Now, the next case is Sheyisrael Mehen Li. Let's say the neder he made is that Jews may not benefit from me. Mm-hmm. The first case was I cannot benefit from Jews. This now is Jews cannot benefit from me. So can he sell to how can he sell to them? How can he buy from them? Says the Mishna, Lakeach b'pachas. He buys it for less than the price, which the seller will be more than happy to do that. Umeicher b'yoser, and if he's going to sell something to someone, he's going to have to be selling it for. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Lakeach b'pachas, right? If the case is he's not allowed to benefit from Jews, then lakeach b'pachas. If he's the buyer, he buys it for. He buys it for. Lakeach means he buys. Yeah. Right. So he's buying it then for less. Because by buying it for less, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. For buying it for
benefiting from him.
They can't benefit from him.
Yeah.
So therefore, if he buys it for less, they're not benefiting because they took the loss for him. So I made a mistake before. Umeicher b'yoser, and if he's selling to them, he's got to sell for more than the price. So that again, they're going to be taking a loss. Im shaymin. Misha says if they agree to do that. If they agree to go ahead and take a loss for this guy, all right, so then they're willing not to benefit. Now, here in the notes, they point out that this person, in either of the case where the person are actually, let's say in this case, right, where the person is saying, no, let's say in the case where he says, I cannot, let's finish the Mishnah first. Let's finish all the cases. She'eni nan v'shlahen v'heinli. If the neder he says is that I cannot benefit from them, and they cannot benefit from me, meaning in both directions, so then there's no solution. There's no way you can do anything, because at the end of the day, someone's going to be benefiting, no matter in some form or another, and therefore Yahana l'lachrim, he'll have to get his benefits from Goyim, because the konam, the neder, was only a neder from Jews regarding Jews, not non-Jews. And therefore, he'll have to do all his buying and selling with non-Jews, but not with Jews. Now, let's say in the case where a person says that I cannot benefit from them, right? And he goes ahead and he buys it for more than the regular price, so he hasn't benefited, right? The only way that can work is if the neder that you made was not a neder if the neder would have been, let me say it this way. If the neder would have been, I cannot benefit from their things, then buying it for less than then buying it for more than the regular price is not going to help you. You forbade yourself from having benefit from their things. Even if you buy it at a loss, after you have it, you're going to use it. And you made a neder, you can't use their things. So the case here in the Mishnah is not that he made a neder, I cannot use the property of a Jew. I cannot have benefit from the property of the Jew. I cannot have benefit from the Jew. It's a question of having benefit from that person. And therefore, in a situation where you take a loss, you're not benefiting from it. And that's how you solve the issue, again, if it's only in one direction. Once it's in both directions, there's nothing that you can do when you make that neder not to have any kind of benefit, not to have benefit from Jews or for them to have benefit from you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you very much.